Um, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Chris, and I'm dialing in from Johannesburg, South Africa. And this evening, we're at Liezel Visser dialing in from White River this evening. And tonight, Liezel is going to be doing training on the misconceptions of the network marketing industry. And Liezel did an amazing training at our previous event. And wow, just such amazing nuggets that came through on people that are sort of misinformed as to what this industry is all about. And, Liezel, being in the network marketing industry for many, many, many years, comes with years of experience. And that's what I love about this industry is the growth and people learning from each other. And that's why we have the trainings in place, because there's this little I don't know, this little person, this little monster that runs around in the background and goes and puts stuff into people's heads and talks about network marketing is a pyramid scheme. I tell you, when I hear people say that, I just smile and I shake my head and I say, you don't have a clue. You don't have a
Yeah, no,
clue. And
that is so true.
no, completely, hands down, hands down. So we've got a really awesome little 2-minute video clip we're going to show just now. Liezel will tell me as soon as she wants to play it, and then a nice clip at the end. But otherwise, Liezel, I'm going to hand straight over to you. And yeah, let's get started. Go for it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Yes, so I've been in the network marketing industry for 11 years now. Absolutely enjoying it, every single moment of it. So, yes, so today I've been asked to talk about the misconceptions of network marketing. And first, I think we have to address the elephant in the room. And can you imagine what that is? Yeah, the pyramid scheme elephant. Because a lot of people think when you talk about network marketing that it is a pyramid scheme. And the other day I was having coffee with a new prospect. But this lady also wanted to join the business. So she asked me a lot of questions. And then also the next question was, can you show me a little bit of the compensation plan? So I don't go in depth with that. But immediately when I started showing her the compensation plan, I could see it in her eyes. It's like, oh, it's one of those pyramid schemes. You read people. When you are this long in the business, you kind of read people. And I could immediately see what she was thinking. And then I said to her, so a lot of people think this is a pyramid scheme. And she said, yes, that's exactly my thought also. So I think, so there's a guy that I'm following in network marketing. He is one of the biggest network marketing gurus. His name is Fraser Brooks. I don't know if you guys follow him. I follow him on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. He's got a lot of free training and hacks and advice, and you can learn a lot from him. So I'm going to ask Chris now because he explains very nice what a pyramid scheme is. So Chris, if you can start playing that video, it's just a short clip. Then then we can start that, and then I will talk after that again.
Okay, perfect. The one that I chose is the one that you shared with me, the one with Eric Worre. Let me play the clip.
Oh, was it Eric Worre? What I thought it was Fraser Brooks. Sorry, then I'm confused now because I know Fraser Brooks also did one. So sorry, maybe it's Eric. Eric Worre is also one of the biggest network marketing gurus. He's always also talking about that. So let's play the video and then see. Sorry, then maybe I got mixed up. But I know Fraser Brooks also has a video like that.
Right, here we go. Right, perfect. Just want to check and you see it. Right, here goes.
This pyramid shape. People get really messed up with this pyramid. Oh, it's one of those pyramid things.
So I just think there are a lot of haters out there who really don't understand the industry and say, oh, it's a get rich quick scheme. It's a pyramid.
Well, corporate America is a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? It goes like this. You have thousands of MBAs, let's say working for Ford. If all these MBAs are all trying to get to here, that's a pyramid. Only one guy's going to make it. Every 10 years, one's going to make it. Whereas you look at network marketing, it's like this. So you're here, and your job is to develop other CEOs coming up behind you. So it's an inverse pyramid.
It doesn't matter what shape the company is or the compensation plan is shaped, whether it's a circle or a pyramid or a triangle or a trapezoid, it doesn't matter. If compensation is coming primarily from recruitment, then you've got a problem. On the other hand, if an operation is basing their compensation to participants on the basis of sales, even when those sales are generated by people you've recruited, well, then you're a perfectly legitimate enterprise. That's the legal test. It's the practical test.
Another issue that's been true in the past that is no longer true now is people used to be in network marketing loaded up with products that they couldn't sell, and they ended up a loser. They ended up with a bunch of product in their garage. They ended up with a bunch of products sitting in their kitchen shelves or whatever, and they thought they could sell it, and then they weren't willing to or able to sell it, and they ended up with a bunch of stuff, and they were bitter about it.
There was this thing called front loading where you had to buy, if you bought $25,000 worth of product, you got better commissions and all this. Today, it's almost all done by computer. It's direct mail, comes from a warehouse somewhere else. You don't have to have all this inventory. You don't have to stock up. Most of it's done online. You have a back office. It really works. And the technology has changed everything.
So there you have it. I don't think I can explain it better than those guys. But anyway, so often people ask, but how do we know if it's a pyramid scheme or is it a legit network marketing company? So there's a few things that you can look at. So also, when we sit in front of people and we start telling them about the business and the opportunity, and is it one of those pyramid schemes? In the past, I used to get very upset and I got in defensive mode when people asked me this question, is it one of those pyramid schemes? But then I also learned with time, I'm not getting upset anymore, because unfortunately there is people who got scammed out of pyramid schemes. So you must also understand their where they are coming from. So when people ask me that, I will tell them, okay, why do you say that this is a pyramid scheme? And I give them the opportunity to answer me, or I will ask them, what is your understanding of a pyramid scheme? So first of all, a pyramid scheme, primarily, they focus on recruiting, like they've just said in the video. They focus on recruiting. There's most of the time no sales or no product or no service. So you give money and you don't really see something that you are paying for. And then also these companies promise high income in return for what you give them, almost like a quick, rich money-making thing. So that is one of the things. So when somebody approach you with a network marketing opportunity, so this is my first question. So when a very good friend of mine approached me with this business last year, my first question was, how old is the company? That was my first question, because if it is a pyramid scheme, they don't last long. So how old is the company? Second, do they offer a product or a service? And then third, what is the quality of the product or the service? Because you can't sell something if it's not a good quality or a valuable product. And then the fourth question was about the compensation plan, because that is also very important. What is the compensation plan? How good is it? So those four questions I always ask. And then according to that, you can see, yes, it's a pyramid scheme, or no, this is a legit network marketing company. So I think if we compare a pyramid scheme towards a network marketing company, the difference is, okay, so with network marketing, you also focus on, so there's two legs. You focus on sales, but also on recruiting. But you don't primarily focus on recruiting. I don't know if you will agree with me, Chris.
Oh, completely. I'm so glad you actually mentioned what you mentioned regarding asking about the company. That, as you know, that's one of the first questions that I asked George. I said to him, "How long has this company been around?" And that was 2 years ago. So
Exactly.
LifeWave was 18 years old. As we know, this year LifeWave is 20 years old, and pyramid schemes. So number one, 20 years old. If it was not a legitimate company, it would have been closed down a long time ago. And
Exactly.
and exactly what you were saying as well. I ask a person, "Have you been involved in a pyramid scheme before?" And did you know that like 8 out of 10 people say, "No, I haven't." So this is just like what they've heard. So they've never done it before. And number two, I always say to a person, "Did you know that pyramid schemes are highly, highly illegal?" You can go to
Yeah.
jail for a pyramid scheme. So they're highly illegal. Where network marketing, and this is fact, you go and Google it, the network
Yeah.
marketing industry has been around for 134 years.
That's
134
amazing.
years. Yep.
That's really amazing.
That's the beautiful
Yeah. So
industry
yeah,
that you're in.
so unfortunately, there is companies that is illegal and or pyramid schemes. But I think it's important for us to educate the people around what is a pyramid scheme and what you must look out for when joining a network marketing company. So yes, but now so now we know what is a pyramid scheme and what to look out for. The next thing that I want to address now is, okay, and the other thing is they also promise and they exaggerate and they say you can make this amount of money overnight, which is not the case with network marketing. Network marketing is a sustainable business. If you work hard and you are persistent and you have goals, you will most definitely be successful. But on the other hand, pyramid schemes, they make promises that is not sustainable. Okay, so I think I've covered now the pyramid scheme thing. So the next thing, the next other misconception of network marketing I want to address is, so first of all, did you all notice that in the word network marketing there is a verb? And I think I've also said that with my speech on the first convention. So network marketing, work, there's a verb, it's work. It's actually you have to put in work. I often get people who join the industry and they tell me, oh, let's try and do this. So this is not let's try marketing. This is network marketing. So and I think a lot of people join the business or the industry and they think, listen, I can see Chris and I can see Lucinda and I can see Sandy and George and all of those people and I make a huge amount of money and I will join the company and I will see if I will, let's give it a try. So when people join my business, and this is me, but when people join my business and they tell me, I think I will give it a try. I don't work with those people. I will tell them straight, listen, I'm only working with people who are willing to put in the work. Because the moment you tell yourself, I'm going to try and see if this works for me, this is not supposed to work for you. You are supposed to work for the company or for yourself and do the work and put in the effort. If you say, I'm going to try and do this, you have set yourself up for failure 50% already. I don't know if you agree with me, Chris.
I want to ask you, when your husband proposed to you, when he asked you to marry him, did you say to him, "Oh, you know what, let's give it a try, let's see what happens"? No, you said, "Hell yes,
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 I know.
yes, I do.
And I think a perfect example also is when you apply for a traditional job. So now you get a phone call, okay, you must come for an interview, and you sit there. Now you are in the interview, and this boss or guy that's leading the interview. He's going to ask you, listen, do you think you will be doing X, Y, and Z, and this is what we're going to expect from you. So what do you tell? Yes, for sure, I can do this. I will do this. I will give my utmost best. If you're going to tell that guy, I will try and see if I can do this job. Are you going to appoint that guy? No, I'm not. If a person tells me I'm going to give it a try and see, no, you must definitely not going to get the job. So you will sit there and you will give your best. You will tell that guy, yes, I am the perfect person for this job. So how come is network marketing so much different? How come does people think when they join the company, they can do it whenever they want and put in any, yes, this is an amazing business opportunity. For me, I think I only worked for a boss twice in my life. It didn't work out. I hated it because I had to work from 8 to 5. I had to ask, can I go on leave? May I go on lunch? It's only half an hour lunch. I only had 15 days of leave once a year. I'm a person who loves to travel. I want to do my own thing. I don't want to sit in an office getting a certain amount of money and being told what to do, where I must go, and all that stuff. So I was very young when I started to being an entrepreneur, but network marketing is real. And when done right, it can be a legitimate business model that offers opportunities for personal growth, financial freedom, time freedom, community building, and it's really so rewarding. But often people think when they join network marketing, they can do it whenever they want and they can get rich very quick. If I look at you and Lucinda and Sandy, whenever I pick up the phone and I want to talk to Sandy or I send her a voice message, she's always on her way to a meeting or a business presentation or helping someone in her team. Like, I don't think I've ever spoken to Sandy, which she said, oh, I'm just relaxing, I'm doing nothing, because she's working hard. And yeah, she's been in the business, I think, not even for 2 years now. And you guys also, you and Lucinda also, you are such a big role model for all of us because we know you work hard. That is why you guys are on top of the compensation plan, because you put in the effort. You don't just only put half an hour or an hour a day in. So when you join the business, you can do it either full-time or part-time. But I think the problem is people join the business and I think they can do it whenever they want. Yes, actions speak louder than words. So I don't know if you want to add something to that, Chris.
Completely. It's network marketing, not net sit marketing. And there's an aspect of work that needs to come into it. And it's not just going to fall on your lap. And, the biggest secret is consistency, but it's doing it like John Maxwell said in his training. You don't have to do LifeWave all day. You just have to do it every day. So you might, listen, life happens. We've all got commitments. We've all got things happening in our lives. So today you might have had a problem in personal things that you needed to get done. But as long as you fit in that 20 minutes or that half an hour, as long as you keep that consistency, which is the most important thing. And, when we talk about traditional jobs, I'm glad you started touching on that. This can fast track your life, where if you look at the traditional job world, as Robert Kiyosaki says, go to school, go to university, get good grades, get a good job. We know what job stands for. Job, J-O-B, stands for just over broke. And working for a boss, I'm gonna be quite direct and say it as it is, because I've been there before. When you get paid a salary, unfortunately, the truth or the fact behind it is you are basically owned, because I mean, I remember when a boss used to say to me, Chris, do this, do that, do that. I used to jump. I used to do what I had to do because my boss was like the God. He told me what to do. Jump, you say how high. Why? Because you get paid. So you basically you owned when you're working in a position. Listen, I'm not discrediting jobs. Jobs are important. Jobs are what pay your bills, right?
Yes.
The jobs will pay your bills. So your 9 to 5 will pay your bills. Your 6 to 10 will build your empire. So it's what you're doing in that in-between time. Because like you just said, Liezel, imagine, being at work at 8. My goodness gracious, we're doing our exercise now, walking around for an hour at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is the time freedom that this business gives you.
Exactly.
But we do.
Exactly.
James, there we go. James, you said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. Indirectly, you're a slave to the system. I was going to say that, but then you typed it out, so I just had to read it out. Thank you for that, James.
Yeah, you know what? It is. I see my husband is also, so he's working for a corporate company. He's got quite a big position there. And you know what? I also said to him the other day, you're getting slaves. Every year, your goals is higher, your targets is higher, and then you have to work really very, very hard. And you know what? Corporate companies, and I don't talk them bad, but corporate companies expect unfair hours. And there's no family time. I mean, it can be 8 or 9 in the evening. They will phone in weekends when we are on holidays. And for me, this is really just so amazing because the other thing about network marketing, you know what? There's no discrimination towards age. I saw recently people that 70 and 80 and 60 doing this network marketing. Where are a 60 or a 17-year-old person going to apply for a job and they're going to get it? I mean, Sandy is 72 now. She is almost on top of the compensation plan. And that is what I see. There's a lot of people, all ages. So you just have to be 18 and over. You can be male, you can be female, you can be there's no, you don't have to have a background or education. So there's no certain description for you to join a network marketing company. And I think this is what's so amazing. This industry is for anybody. And that is really what is so amazing, because a lot of people out there are jobless. A lot of people out there can't even apply for a job because of their age, because of there's a lot of stuff. You don't have the background, the knowledge whatsoever. And I think this is just amazing. So either if you can do it part-time or full-time, this is for anybody, and this is changing lives. But I think it's important for people to know that this is hard work. If you join a network marketing company, so me, currently I'm in qualification for a Marrakesh trip, and I must tell you, this is very hard work, but I'm so close, but it's so rewarding. But like every single morning I wake up and I say, so I had planned out my whole few weeks, and I was like, okay, this week I need so many points. On a daily basis, I have to speak to so many people. This is my goals. And so say, for instance, something happened today and I can't speak to anyone. Life happens. Sometimes life happens, personal stuff happens. I get it. And we can't do our business that day. But then I know the next day I have to work twice as hard because I didn't do my work yesterday. I didn't speak to as many people as I would like to. If I fall behind 1 week, I know, listen, I have to work twice as hard. But this is so rewarding because this is a goal. This is something I want to. I can do it in my own time. And then the other thing, you grow personally. You grow within yourself. You learn new stuff. You connect with like-minded people. And I think this is one of the most rewarding stuff for me. I meet new people, like-minded people. And then you get to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because this is really pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, speaking to new people, doing lives, speaking on stage. That was one of my biggest things that I always wanted to do, and I had to do it with the first convention. Was I nervous? I was very, very nervous. But after that, I was like, it wasn't really so bad, you know. So also doing training, doing lives, all those things, speaking to new people, it's not always feeling comfortable, but it's necessary for us to grow, because nothing grows in comfort zones. So yes, it's rewarding, it's hard work, it's commitment every single day. But at the end of the day, and I think you can tell us how rewarding this business has been for you.
Yeah, no, Liezel, you are so spot on there. So spot on. Yeah, rewarding, very rewarding. But before I could get into that, I'm actually going to put somebody on the spot. I've just made him co-host. He doesn't expect it. Ines and Audrey are on the call. I'm going to add spotlight. There we go. And I've just made them co-host. So if you guys can unmute. This is completely unplanned, guys. I just saw Ines and Audrey on the screen. There's obviously a reason they were there. And after the convention, we were having a chat after the dinner. And what Ines told me shocked me to my core when we're talking about the job world out there. You are only as good as your last month. The companies don't care about you and your personal issues and your personal problems. You are unfortunately just a number. And I think people are realizing it, specifically since after COVID, how quickly and easily things can get taken away. So what your plan A was is very unstable. And we haven't even seen the aftermath of COVID yet. There's a lag period. There's still a lot to come. And I think people have started to realize that. But Ines was working in the car industry for a while. And when he told me what he told me on Saturday night, I nearly fell off my chair of what his manager told him and what eventually happened from there. Ines, I'd love you to please share the story that you shared with us.
Okay. Well, I'm going to share the short version. So I did quite well in the motor industry, and we were a team of 4 sales guys at this company, and I basically consistently, month after month, I did the same amount of units and turnover, if not more, than the rest of the team combined. So I was good at the job. Within the first month that I got there, I was actually made 2IC to my manager. And even in that time, I actually did half of his work. So while doing half of my manager's work, I still consistently actually outperformed the rest of the team. I got to a point where I left home in the mornings at 6 o'clock. And then at night, I would actually only get home at about 8 o'clock. So I gave everything of myself to this company. And it actually got to the point where Audrey and I, we split up. I was burnt out. You know, you get to this point where you tell your wife, listen, I've got to get keep the pot cooking, and this is what's needed to be done. And, you know, if you don't like it, it's, you know, kind of get out. And it got to the point where it actually almost cost us our marriage. Because we went through a very difficult time, we actually did separate. She came and stayed with her family in Limpopo. And I kept working. And because of the stress that I was under, you know, work-wise and home-wise, of course, 1 month I actually slipped up and I didn't do the units that I did every month. And then my manager called me in and said, listen, 1 more month like this and we're chopping you. And then one morning I just got up and I realized, you know what, you're only as good as your previous month. It doesn't matter how good you are. They will take their pound of flesh. They will siphon every drop of blood out of you. And if you cannot perform like that, they'll just spit you out. And I got up and I said, I'm not putting my marriage and my personal, or putting my job before my marriage and my personal life. I'm not going to have these consequences. And I walked in and I basically resigned with immediate effect. And I phoned Audrey and I said to her, listen, I'm coming home. And I got on the bus and I went home, and I said, well, we're going to do LifeWave now. That's all that we have. We are back against the wall. It is plan A, and, plan B is to make plan A work. And, what I realized is you give so much of yourself to people like that, and it means nothing. So if you only put in half of what I put in there, you have to make a success of it. You understand? So it's all about commitment, as you said, consistency. But in the end of the day, you are giving back to yourself. But more importantly, is you are giving back to other people who really need it. And I must tell you, I was in a bit of a difficult emotional space before we went to the convention. And after we left there, just how everybody helped one another. There was nobody trying to bring anybody else down. I come from a background where people steal each other's business, and in LifeWave, everybody actually builds one another up. So you don't have it where people steal one another's clients. It's all a support system, and it's a family, and that's what I love about it, and that is why I'm now committed to the LifeWave family, because, as I said, if you only give half of what you usually give to your job, you have to make a success for yourself and for other people. And that's what I love about it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ines. And thank you for being so open and vulnerable and sharing from your heart.
That is really amazing.
Yeah.
If I may just add one last thing. So, of course, I took the ride to the bus with an Uber driver. I'm not going to tell the long story that I told you, but what was impressive about this guy is he actually built up quite a company for himself, where he owns 17 Uber cars and a number of other businesses. And I told him my story as we were on the way to the bus. And what was very interesting is he said to me, well done for not drinking that poison anymore, and promise yourself that you will never ever drink the poison again of having to work for somebody else. And that stuck in my mind, and it is poison that we drink because it poisons us.
Then please tell me what that Uber driver did.
Okay, so it was quite an emotional day, because I was actually put into quite a difficult position by my dealer principal when I resigned. He actually threatened that the company was going to sue me for breaking my contract and things like that. Anyway, so I phoned up Audrey, and I was sitting there actually not knowing what to do. I was in turmoil, almost in tears, and I got in the car and started speaking to the Uber driver. He told me his whole life story, asked me about myself, and when I got to the shuttle, we exchanged numbers. And when I got to Limpopo, he actually followed up and asked me if I arrived at my destination safely. And when just before I left there, I phoned Audrey and I said to her, I've got this turmoil and I don't know. And, she just asked for the angels to guide me. And long story short, about a half an hour after I actually arrived in Limpopo, my Uber driver sends me a WhatsApp, and he says to me, listen, he's been in very difficult positions many times before in his life. And he's always had people watch out for him. And can you please pay 3,000 Rand into my bank account? So can I send him my bank account? And the Uber driver actually paid money into my bank account to get me on my feet again, because I don't know if I'm ever going to get commission out of this company again, because I left on such short notice. And I believe that he's actually an angel that was sent to me. The thing that he said to me is, please, just when you're in a position where you're on your feet again, please just pay it forward. And that was, I actually broke down and I just cried because it was such an emotional thing. So the thing is, we were introduced to LifeWave just more than a year ago, and you were stuck in this thing where you have to do your job, and LifeWave comes, secondary. And the thing about LifeWave, when I realized on Saturday at the convention, is LifeWave is a huge magnet. It's this force, and it attracts the right people at the right time. So even though we joined a year ago, 18 months ago, actually, it wasn't the right time. But I had to, Audrey and I had to actually go full circle to actually see what you have. And yes, so it attracts the right people at the right time. But every single person that I met on Saturday was really a light worker, and we're a community and a family of light workers, and we actually have a responsibility to share this with the world, and we are very blessed to be part of this. Yes. So
Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing a very personal story with us. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Chris, can I just add something also? I think also why some people are quitting network marketing. Sometimes I try it and they say, no, it's not working for them. I think there's not a huge startup cost. And sometimes it's easy for people to just say, okay, now I've tried, it doesn't work for me. I've owned 2 traditional businesses of my own in the past. It was a huge setup cost. Me and my daughter owned a beauty salon. And if I can tell you, that is very hard work to own a traditional business. From the start, it was not a franchise. And I must say it took us nearly 2 years to build up a name to break even. So there was months that me and my daughter, we worked 6 days a week. We only had one other person that was working for us. And some months we were just lucky to be able to pay the rent and all our expenses, and then we didn't even have any money for ourselves. And I remember there was months when my daughter cried and she said to me, Mom, I've worked 6 days a week so hard in this business, I didn't even get one rand. And that is unfortunate. Did I say after a month or 2, the business is not working for me, now I'm going to close the doors? No, why not? Because I've invested nearly R1 million into this business. I couldn't just close the doors and tell this is not working. And I think this is where it comes in. People, there's not a huge startup fee, and it's much easier for people to quit and to say this isn't working for me. But if you really want to be successful in this business and you really want to get to the top, this is hard work. It's consistent. It's showing up. It's doing it every single day. And you must imagine yourself that you've invested a lot of money into this business, and you just have to make it work. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. You can't force people to do the business. You can't force people and say you have to do this. You want to do the business. Either it is for you or it is not for you. But this is just my take also. I've had 2 traditional businesses, and I don't say you mustn't earn one. I will never do that again. Firstly, I was only reliable on the feet that come into the shop in that specific town. Now I can reach people in 87 countries. It doesn't matter where I am. Now I'm currently at my Airbnb in White River. I'm actually living in Pretoria, but I just need my phone and Wi-Fi, and I can speak to anyone, anywhere. I've signed up people in different countries, and I think this is what the beauty of this business is. You're not just in one town and you are waiting for people to come into your shop. You can literally reach thousands and thousands of people in different countries. And I think this is the beauty of network marketing to me.
Oh, completely. I couldn't agree with you more. It makes me think about Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. You know, anybody that doesn't know what this is behind me, if anybody's ever seen this before, you can go and Google it. Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. If you don't know what it is, E, guess what E stands for? E stands for employee. As an employee, what are you doing? You're trading time for money. You're trading time for money. And if you're not putting the time in, you're not going to earn the money. You can't just go to work tomorrow and say, hey, boss, I'm taking the next month off. You got to fill in a leave form. It's got to be approved, and all the red tape. You can't just get up and duck tomorrow for a month. You do that, guess what's going to happen? Hey, Liezel, you're going to get fired. That's, yeah,
Yes,
that's
most
it.
definitely.
So then
Most
what happens
definitely.
is, what do we then do? We then fire our boss and we go from E to S. What does S stand for? S is self-employed, which is where
Yeah.
you have been. I also fired my boss and also became self-employed. Now you think, yes, there we go. We've got rid of the boss. And then guess what
Yeah.
happens? Then guess what happens? Now you are the most critical boss ever, because now what happens is you are in control and it's all on your shoulders. Now you find yourself working even harder because now you can't take leave, because what happens is the moment you take leave, bills still have to get paid. I think that's the funny thing when you take leave. Just because you're on leave doesn't mean the bank suddenly goes, don't worry, you don't have to pay the bond this month. And guess what? You don't have to pay the car this month because we know that you are on leave. So we're going to give you a breather. No, it doesn't work like that. You still got to pay those bills. So you find yourself running on that hamster wheel. But now that hamster is running on turbo. Those little legs are running so fast. There's smoke coming out of the wheels there that those hamster wheel the legs are running. And that's what happens. So that's on the left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant, E and S. You're trading time for money. Now, did you know that that's where, listen to this, on this side of here, employee and self-employed, that is where 90% of where humanity sits. And guess what? Only 10% of the money is there. So yes, 90% of the people are working for the 10% of the money. So can you see why nobody is getting ahead in life? That's just the way it is. And what freaks me out, listen to this. You get a bond. So, Liezel, have you ever bought a house before?
Yeah, not on my name, but my husband, yes.
Well, your husband, okay, so you
We
join.
have built this Airbnb about a year ago, yes. So
Here we go. Now, listen to this. This is going to shock you if you haven't thought about this yet before. We don't have a chance to fall back a little bit. Let me tell you what I mean by this. You to get a bond. A bond is usually 20 years, correct? So you're going to pay a property off over 20 years. Let's not even talk about the interest. If you work out
it's
the
ridiculous.
interest, you're paying double, right? But the part that really freaks me out, did you know you could be paying a bond and you have diligently, you've worked for a company, you get your salary, you pay your bond, and you've paid it every month, without fail. And you get to, let's call it year 14, hypothetically. So you get to year 14. So you know, if you miss 3 monthly payments in a row, guess what happens? They repossess your house. Your house gets taken away from you and you've got zip nothing. But you've paid it for 14 years. You haven't missed a month. For 14 years. You miss 3 months. You're back to square one. But guess what happened? You're 14 years older and you're starting with 0. Do you think that's a very fair system?
No, it's ridiculous.
It's actually quite disgusting. It's quite disgusting. So what happens is, so we think, don't worry, everything's fine until something goes wrong. Now, you don't want to have your back against the wall when, I'm not saying if something goes wrong, I'm saying when something goes wrong. Guys, we've got to be real here. Let's not joke. Life is inevitable. You're going to have setbacks. That's just the way things happen. And if you don't have your plan B in place, where they say that you should have 36 months worth of income in your bank, 36 months. So in other words, for if you don't work for 3 years, you know you can cover bills every single month for 3 years. We know that 99% of people don't have that. But because that's where the system has been designed, because it's designed like that, so that these properties can get repossessed, then they sell it on auction, they make the money. I can talk about this all night, so I'd rather just keep quiet now, just on that topic. But but the thing is, you can't fall down. You fall down, and the world's going to walk over you, and you have to have Plan B in place. And that's what I love about the network marketing industry. The pro is it's very little to get involved, very little. Because think about it, you can register for $25, and you become your own boss within a business. You own your own business on another man's capital for $25. Because then all you do, you purchase product. And guess what? When you purchase product, guess what that means? You're getting a physical product, exactly what Liezel said in the beginning, right? You get a physical product. So you purchase, you receive something. You're not putting money into an investment. You cannot, there's no risk in network marketing. You can't lose any money, because any money you put in, you're getting something for it. And that's also the downfall. It only costs you $25 to, start the business. That's why you can exit the business so easy, just by not doing it. But, I just want to share a very quick story where we were talking about the concept of pyramid scheme, which is so interesting. It was about the end of last year. Renee is a person that signed up under Robin, who lives in Botswana. And Renee was flying from the USA, from Atlanta, to go see Robin in Botswana. And they stopped over in Johannesburg for the night to fly the next morning. And we met with Robin and her friend at the City Lodge at OR Tambo. So Robin had only been part of Lifeway for about 3 years. 3 months. And she'd never been in network marketing before. So we were chatting, having dinner. And she said, Chris, somebody said to me the other day that this is like a pyramid scheme. What is a pyramid scheme? So I said to her, let me ask you a question first. I said to Renee, you work for a company, right? So she nodded her head and said, yes. I said to her, what industry is it in? She said, I'm in hospitality. I said, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you worked for the company? She said, 8 years. I said to her, right, and you earn a salary, am I right? So she nods her head going, yeah. So the next question I asked her, I said, do you have a boss? So she goes duh, of course I've got a boss, obviously. I said, okay, well, I want to ask you, does your boss earn more than you? So she said, obviously he does. I said, okay, let me leave it there. And then I said, Renee, your boss, right? Does he also have a boss? And she said, well, obviously, yes. I said, okay. Now, your boss's boss, does he earn more than your boss? And she said, well, that's pretty obvious, yes. Then I answered the question. I said, who works the hardest out of the three of you? She said, I'm the one that works the hardest. I said, but you're the one that's earning the least. And she sat back and she said, Chris, I'm in a pyramid scheme. All you've got to do is just, people have not put 2 and 2 together. So the corporate world is a pyramid scheme. It is what it is. From the corporate world, to the church structure, to the hospital structure, to a school structure, to the government, to a family structure, is all shaped like that, right? So that's where this misconception actually comes from. Now, if you look at traditional network marketing, and guys, binary, hello, the eighth wonder of the world, my hat, wow. And what's so beautiful is, guys, you guys all know that I signed up under George. George, that a lot of us met from Spain. I signed up under George, right? But like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I earned more money than George. So if this was a pyramid scheme, how can I, under George, earn more money than him? And then got Sandy that's within my downline. Sandy has out-earned me, although she's in my structure. So how does that work? That is so far from a pyramid scheme, because if you balance your legs properly, Liezel, you right now sitting on the call in White River, and I'm sitting in Johannesburg. I've been part of LifeWave, as we all know, for 21 months, and you've been part of LifeWave for just over a year, right? Did you know that you can out-earn me?
Yes.
You can out-earn me.
My
There we
pleasure.
go.
Yeah.
So is that not the furthest thing from a pyramid scheme in the entire world?
Exactly. Exactly. No, exactly. No, I think this is a perfect example that you have given us now.
Yep. And then, as George was saying, I earn way more than the 3 people above me. That's fact. That's fact. Yeah, George's upline and upline and upline. He earns more because what you say is what you put in is in direct proportion to what you get out. And, if you treat this business like a hobby, you're going to earn the income of a hobby. If you treat this like a business, you're going to get paid, and you're going to get paid very, very well. And I love what Ines said just now. If everybody just had to put 10% of the effort into LifeWave than what they do in their traditional jobs, they will reach the top of the comp plan in a very, very short time frame. And rewarding, guys, a lot of people that get into network marketing or have started it, either working for a company and things change, as you saw what happened with Audrey and Ines. People are in different seasons at any given time, so people's circumstances change. So just because a person's not running with it now, it just means they've got other stuff that they're dealing with. And we love everybody where they are at. And we just got to give people the space and the patience. And as soon as they're ready, they will run with it. And this can completely turn your life around, as it did for me. I mean, when I started, I'd lost my traditional children's toy company that I had for 12 years because of COVID. And when I started, I had my back against the wall. You want to talk about, not easy, being vulnerable. I'll share my vulnerability. There's some people on the call that don't know me at all. When I started, when George shared LifeWave with me, I wanted to join straight away. And I'm going to be honest with everybody on the call. I did not have $125 to join LifeWave. That's where I was when I started. I did not even have $125. I had to phone my ex-business partner that I hadn't spoken to for 4 years in the toy industry. And I phoned him up and I asked him to give me toys on consignment that I could go sell at a flea market where Lucinda was selling her clothing. And I sold children's toys for 3 days to raise the money so that I could join LifeWave. And I put the work in. And it took me 17 months to hit the top rank in the compensation plan. And yes, that's a lot of hard work to get there. But my goodness gracious, exactly as George said, this is the easiest hard work that you'll ever do. And you have a lot of fun in the process. And Liezel, what you just said just now about the self-development, how important is self-development, Liezel? Tell us how important that is.
Oh, that that is the most important thing. I mean, when I think of when I started network marketing, I still had my beauty salon, and I was introduced to the previous network marketing company that I was with about 10 years. And I thought I knew a lot about network marketing because I was introduced to that when I was in my 20s, but I didn't really know how it worked. So when I started, I had a lot of questions, but I didn't know a lot of network marketing. But what I did was I go and Googled. I followed people like Sarah Robinson, Eric Worre, Fraser Brooks, all those people. I was like a sponge. I wanted to learn more about network marketing, how it works, what I have to do. And there is a lot of people who charge for courses, but there is also a lot of people who give you free courses and free advice and free tips. And I literally, I watched every single video, and I've written down, and I've duplicated what they told us to do. But then also, you learn a lot about yourself. And I know one of the courses that I joined, I didn't pay. It was actually a free webinar. The guy, he pushed out of his comfort zone. He said to us, like, now you must go and do a live video. And I was like, I can't do a live video. That is totally out of my comfort zone. But that was one of the tasks because he actually ran a competition. So I did it. And after the first time I did it, I thought like, oh my goodness, this is actually not that bad. But yeah, you learn about yourself, you learn new stuff, you learn to push yourself out of the comfort zone. And actually it feels great. Once you've put your one little toe or foot out of that circle of your comfort zone, you actually realize that there is a life outside of your comfort zone, and it's actually a good life, and you actually start to enjoy it. So self-development, yes, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned about a lot how far I can push myself, and I'm still learning every single day. I mean, every single day I'm still learning, and I've been in this industry for 11 years now. So self-development is very important, and yes, I just love it.
Oh,
No, comfort doesn't bring a change.
I'm so glad you've touched on that. Thank you, Liezel. Thank you. You are so spot on. Like you say, you've got to be like a sponge. You've got to be like SpongeBob SquarePants. Take it all in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, guys, Liezel, thank you. Don't go anywhere yet. I'm going to be closing off our amazing training this evening with a 1.5 minute video clip, again by Eric Worre. Beautiful clip where he talks about why join network marketing. It's only 1.5 minutes. I'm going to finish off with this amazing clip. Thank you, Liezel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. And
it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Chris.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. You go here. Give me 1 second. And here, share sound, back here.
Why do people join these companies? What is...
What happened there? It was playing. There we go.
Why do people join these companies? What is the attraction?
You know, I think, Larry, people are ready today more than any other time in history to be their own boss. Technology is wiping out jobs. Technology is wiping out industries. The human value is going down and down and down as technology goes up and up and up. And people are saying, I don't want to fit in some other system anymore. I want to be my own boss, but they don't know how to do it. Do they have a good product? Do they have enough money? You know, do they have the expertise in order to be able to do it? But if there was a way for a person to start their own business without a lot of risk, and they could flex that entrepreneurial muscle, see if they have the chops, they're interested. So it's making a big difference. People are taking that step.
Are you fighting the Amazons of the world, or are you on a parallel line?
Well, Amazon is a unique, as you know, they're taking over the world, right? There's these few companies that are absolutely changing distribution. But what they don't have is word of mouth advertising. They don't have a network of passionate people who believe in the product, sharing it with other people. We provide a really important educational need in the marketplace. We educate people on products that will be valuable to them. We don't really deal with commodities as much. We just deal with products that are valuable that we can help to inform somebody else about.
How awesome is that? And guys, do we have the best product in the world or what?
Absolutely.
Guys, sitting in the right place at the right time with the right company, and we're right in the beginning, and we were the company that has got 180 patents with no competition. Guys, this is a business person's dream literally coming true. We're right in the beginning. So looking forward to walking this incredible, exciting journey with everybody. So Liezel, again, thank you so much. Thank you for your wisdom and your input. Appreciate
Thank
you
you,
lots.
Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you on the silver screen. Enjoy your evening. Love you all. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
See you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.